Okay, I'm gonna try. Hopefully I can get this last part done. I just want to come back and say some of the most awakened people that I know are the most asleep. And what I mean by that is they're awake, so they feel like they're awake, but because they're awake, they begin to not really challenge themselves to really become their highest selves, like they've reached the plateau. And in this walk, in this realm, we are always elevating, or at least we should be. You know, people talk about the ascension, but I'm like, we're still focused. We need to be focused on the things here, but at the same time, we should be working on ourselves, and that's clearing the inferiority, like I just said in the last part. We're basically doing everything that they want us to do. We're stressed out, we're angry, we're watching the news, we're listening to the songs. I mean, we're just doing everything that they want us to do. And we're not really elevating into higher self. Divinity is where it's at. Before we were in flesh, we were spirit. And we need to get back to the truth of our spiritual selves. We need to get back to the truth of the ancestors. We need to understand how I dropped my stone and I want it. Hold on. I'm just having a time recording today, aren't I? Maybe I need to stop. It's all together recording for now. Okay, I got my stone. Yay. We gotta get to a place where we really start going back to what made our ancestors the great beings they were. And one of the things was they understood their divinity. And we've been suppressed and oppressed and repressed and depressed and compressed. And they're continuing to do that, and we're continuing to let them. So I just want to challenge us to operate in higher love and really learn how to become beings that operate in the truth of self. Who, although we may have emotions, we learn how to harness the emotional energy. I read in some book, or was read, that emotions are almost like a transit state, that you're almost in a trance, and if we're going to be emotional, let us be emotional and learn how to use that power for the betterment of ourselves and the betterment of all. I wanted to prove myself, but I had nothing to prove. And in doing that, I stopped being myself. So I want to encourage us to be ourselves and to be divine. The importance of spiritual integrity says, if you are living in spiritual integrity, when someone comes out against you with a lie, you have nothing to prove. When you're walking in spiritual integrity, you begin to work on yourself. I also want to talk about bringing people along on this journey. There are times when you're supposed to be with people, and there's times when you're supposed to be alone. And we've been taught that alone is almost like a cuss word. Alone, alone, alone. All the songs, so alone. Do you remember that song? Oh, Drew Hill had a song, Alone. I love that song. But, you know, we've been taught that alone is almost like a curse. Like, you're alone, you're alone. But as my master teacher, Osho, would say, go on, Osho. He would say, alone is not a bad thing. Actually, alone can be a state of completeness. He would say something to that. I'm about to drop the love quartz. He would say something to that effect. And that's our goal now, is to learn how to operate in alone and understand its completeness. Also, to learn how to deal with attacks and not jump at every attack. And learn how to be strategic and move, like in the art of war. There's going to be opposition. There's going to be much opposition. Anytime you're doing the right thing, you are going to have opposing forces come against you. And they are going to come against you bold and hard and angry. And the beauty is coming to a place where you're so much in your divinity that you're not even moved by the little peons. I was going to say a whole bunch of stuff, but I've been waiting around for like 20 minutes for the camera to act right, trying to get the video to load. I did start a YouTube channel. I am deleting Starflight Awakening page. There's another page coming soon, but I don't know where the infiltrators are, how much they know, how much they don't know. I do think that my account is not completely safe, so, you know, I gotta do what I gotta do. But I really want to encourage each of us to walk in divinity. That's what I'm about right now. I'm about teaching us how to heal ourselves and make ourselves whole. I had someone the other day ask me, why don't you try to raise the enthusiasm for the Democratic Party? Because at least it's a start. Isn't that what Jerry Fox used to do? No. The Democratic Party is not a start for anything. The Democratic Party is another part of the party, which is the party that wants to keep us distracted. None of the stuff that we're really focusing on, that they make us spend so much attention on, to make us think we really have a voice, is really a voice. The truth is that people really want to talk about consciousness and awareness and awakening and all of that stuff. They must understand that to a certain degree, you pretty much have to unplug 95%. 95% of unplugging. And the truth is, most conscious people and awakened people and enlightened people don't want to unplug. We are spoiled and we are complacent and we like Mickey D's, even though we know it's not good for us, and we'll talk about the meat. We'll still pull in and get us some fries and a shake. Until we change that mentality and begin to build and begin to go back to natural sources, nothing is wrong with technology, but we have to honor nature first, because nature sustains life. Technology really doesn't. It helps, it enhances, but people were living long before we had EKG machines. They were living. And I'm going to go on that note because my camera's not acting right. It's frustrating me and I don't want to be distracted. I gotta be divine. So I just want to encourage us to be divine. Be divine. Be as divine as you can be. Be divinity. Be love. Be light. Be good. Be cool. Be black. Be beautiful. Be bold. Be proud. Be happy. Get away from lower vibrations, frustration, anger, doubt, fear. Fear actually attracts negative energy to you. Fear is a gateway for attack. It's a gateway for spiritual attack. We have to reprogram the mind and higher self so that we can get rid of the things that make us insecure and make us fearful. Trust spirit. Trust your heart. Trust yourself. Be true to self. You have nothing to prove to anyone. If you're still trying to prove something to someone, that means you're still